morning and welcome to my channel. Thanks very much for being here. Today I'm going to make some tags and journal cards for the spring journal and probably finish it off, I would think. I need to be putting some tags in some pockets. So what I've got here is some journal cards and a couple of tags that I've made. I'm going to start with this envelope first because it is the largest piece that I need to do. And I am thinking this would fit on there quite well on this one. So I'm actually going to tear the edges down here. See, again, you can always put this onto some brown paper and make a nice tag from this. I can trim around the edges there once I've put that down. Now, what I might do I ink? I think I want to take some of this down. Yeah. If I took this off, there. You see how you can build them up? Yep, I like that. So what I think I'm going to do is do some inking up here where that torn piece is. And around there. I'm actually going to leave that bit on the bottom. I quite like it. It is a bit fragile, but we will see how it goes. Now look, I couldn't get my glue out. Now I'm getting loads out. And I just want to ink. Okay, I'm quite pleased with that. Do you know what I have noticed watching my videos back? I start to say a sentence and then I kind of stop. And I think that must be very annoying. I'm really sorry. I kind of like just then I realised I'd done it. I think I'm going to ink. And then I stop. And I meant to say going around the page. Anyway, I'm also going to put on some of this. There, maybe just there. So you don't need a lot because the collage pages kind of do it for you. So this can now go on a page in here. Let's get any page up. say here, and I could have that over the top, just going over the top like that, and then you have got a tuck spot or a pocket there as well. So I like that one. Okay, on to the next one, and for this I'm going to use some brown paper, and I've just got to decide. I want to tag and I could do with quite a thin tag here, so I'm going to tear this down. Do about here. I'll just tear this down, take this off. Okay. I'm not worried if it's showing around the sides, anything like that. And that's nice layers. Wrong way up. I just realised that was upside down. Doesn't matter, that's nice layers up there as well. And I think I'm going to just take a piece off of here. Yep, I like that. That's different. Right, I need to ink around some of this as well. There we go. What I'm going to do is we'll finish off at the end with doing all the tassel bits that I need, etc. Let's just trim that off there. We're going to put a hole into here and do a nice bow, I think. Right, that's another one. Now, again, I'm going to use some brown paper, but just as the backing, as the base. Going all the way down, and I'm going to tear there. I will be using this on the bottom of this. I need a piece of the brown paper. Of the base here, I have this to go on. I will trim. This will be a bit straighter, this tag. Then I'm going to take some of this brown paper that I've embossed. Okay, I'm actually going to use this tearing ruler to make a more jagged edge. Whoops. That's not working, so I'll do it by hand. I'll now glue these down. Always worry when you do these, they never quite look right until you start trimming it all up, which I will do now. Okay, and what I'm going to do is take a piece of this, like this, put it on here, fold over, maybe a little bit more. Or should I put it on the side? I think I'm going to put it on the side. Yep, it's going on the side. Straighten that up a bit. Put it on the side for a change instead of always in the middle. Just got one more to make, and I had this piece, so I've taken that off. I'm going to put this onto here, cut this down. I think I will use my cutter to cut it down rather than tear. What I'm after is the top part. So I will go like that, cut it there. And again, get myself a piece of brown paper just to back it. I want this showing more, if that makes sense. I did think I was recording, but I wasn't. I've stuck a bit of brown paper on the back there after inking it. I've inked around this. I'm going to stick this on here. But first, I've got some of this gorgeous sequined lace, or glittery lace. And I've taken a piece of that to go on the bottom here and stick that over the top. So I'm going to try my art glitter glue that I've had a real problem with. Just doesn't want to stick anything. I'm not too worried about this not sticking completely because I am going to be putting this over the top there, and it seems to be coming out now. It's stopped again. Okay, I'm going to use my block. Just put it on like that. Don't need that anymore. Put that one away, and then I will trim up the lace here. I do love this lace, but I've got very little left. I got it from a friend who kindly gave it to me, and I haven't got a lot left. Oh, I like that. And I'm getting used to the fact that you can mix white with vintage to a certain extent. To finish decorating, this one, I've just scrunched the top up. I think I'm going to leave like that. I just quite like that, make it simple. This one I felt needs something down here, and I've got these pieces left over from when we decorated that. Thought I could put that there. And then I've gone and got a piece out of my lace scraps here to go like that. And then one of the grungy rose labels from Citrus Journal Studio. I do like that bit there. So something like that. So I think I'm going to stick that down and hope my glue works. That on top there. Hold it down so that it grabs. Okay, so then I'm going to punch a hole in the top, and oh dear, and I'm not sure it's sort of in the middle. I've got some of these. These are paper ring reinforcers that I've inked with vintage. Ooh, I think I've inked with vintage photo, yes. Put over there, and then I have this. There. This one I've put together, and I did this off camera because it was a bit fiddly. I've got a rusty safety pin, a piece of scrap of lace again, and a piece, last little piece of ruffle I've done. And I'm just going to stick this, I think, about there. And then I am going to punch here. As it's handmade paper, it is a bit fluffy, for want of a better word. And I thought I would stick the other ones of these around this. There. And glue. I think I'm going to do it here and do it this way. There. And again, I've got one last bit of tie left here from other projects. I think it was from the front of the journal. There. And for this one, I'm going to do a very large bow on this. Whoops. Okay, there we go. So I did say I wasn't going to make any more large bows, but I have. So there I have tags, journal cards, using the collage sheets here. So what I'll do, I think, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. I might come back with a flip through. I've decided that I needed to stop putting any more in here. It's got lots of sari silk, all different colours. I've used up lots of odds and ends. I've tried to use most of the kit that I'd printed. I think I've only got a couple of small kind of A6 pieces left. I've tied it up with the same colour sari silk as I've got there, and I've put a little red rose on the front. I will just flip through it silently. You will see a lot of tags and journal cards that I've made in probably the last month or so for it, and other types. For instance, my handmade paper that I made, that's in, not the paper's not in here, but I've got a tag in here with it. Some, you know, the pieces that you have in the middle of die cuts, I've used them for journal cards. So I've really used a lot of things up in this, and it was getting too fat. Anyway, thanks very much for being here, and thanks for the taking your time out of the day to look at this. And I will do a silent flip through now, and don't forget to hit all those buttons.